This Zoom is pretty cool.
All right, welcome back, Ken and I Show. We got a special guest. You can see Nicole Monique's comeback show. We're blessed with her presence. So
Hey!
it's a radio clap, but it's in the radio. So YouTube clap. From That's What She Said Sports. So make sure you follow her on Twitter, Facebook. So Nicole, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you on social media?
Definitely. Excuse me. Follow me on Twitter at TWSS Sports. Facebook, That's What She Said Sports. Coming back on YouTube eventually. I have a YouTube channel as well. But for the time being, it's great hanging out with you guys, and hopefully you guys will have me back. So.
All right. So Kane, how things going on for you, brother? I know it's been a big week for you.
Man, it's been a week of ups and downs, man. But we'll talk about my ups here, pretty soon.
God.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
it's been a tiring, tough week, but at the same time, kind of redeeming, kind of redemption,
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's get to it, man. Of course, we all excited about the Gamecocks pulling it off, national champions. Dawn Staley and the girls breakthrough. Bring that championship back to Columbia. Nicole, what were your takeaways from the women's Final Four?
Well, first of all, this had to be one of the most exciting, I think, women's championships that we've had in a long time. I'm a big fan of Dawn Staley and just everything that she's been through. So to win as a coach is a big deal. But I think everybody, even though it was made a big deal, I think we still have to keep talking about it. They beat UConn. I mean, that's huge. I mean, that to me was up there with like when the Bulls finally beat the Pistons. It's like when LeBron got beat when he was in Miami. I mean, to me, that's a huge deal. And I feel like everybody made a big deal of it at that time, but this was a huge feat. I mean, think about it. They had won over 100 games, and you had a team like South Carolina, which most people thought this is going to be a really easy game. I mean, so I was very excited for them. I felt like it was actually more exciting to watch them than the guys this year, which is a first because a lot of people really don't watch women's basketball. But I thought it spoke volumes for the league and everything. So I was excited. I know somebody disagrees with me, but you have to put it up there. I think this win was bigger than North Carolina winning.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. All right. So Joaquin wants to hate. He's from South Carolina, okay?
Okay, all right. Look, I have to admit, the women's tournament was very exciting. The Mississippi State UConn game was, very exciting. And the little girl, I can't remember her real name, but they call her Itty Bitty, the point guard that hit the game-winning shot.
Morgan. Is it Morgan Williams?
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, that beat that. I mean, it was a very exciting game, and I was one of the people that when the people started, they pretty much called it the UConn Invitational. So let's go ahead and crown these girls and get it over with. But
I told you last week.
Yeah,
not gonna win.
Yeah, to the world shock, and they got beat, and after that, I pretty much knew South Carolina had it. After that,
Cox.
God, he is so irritating with that. I swear. God. I'm just going to ignore him and keep going. Like I said, it was very exciting from the women's tournament. I have to admit, they did have a lot of good games, and the Final Four games were very good, and the championship game as well. Like you said, with Dawn Staley, I followed her whole career. I remember when she was a point guard at Virginia, playing basketball there. I remember that. So very happy for her. Real defining for her program. She's really turned South Carolina all around down there. And it will probably continue with the way that she's got the program going. So congratulations definitely to Dawn Staley on that.
Yeah, to me, she's leaving a legacy. I mean, a program, and no offense to South Carolina, but you have to admit that it probably wasn't one of those top schools that most recruits would want to go to.
No offense, thank you.
Carte blanche on recruits.
No, and of course they've been knocking on the door the last few years. But finally breakthrough, win championship. Dawn Staley, first woman to be most outstanding player in the Final Four and coach championship team.
Right.
So
He's just digging up all kind of nuggets today.
all right, so let's move on to the men's side. And to me, the real story is the refs jobbing out the Gamecocks against Gonzaga.
Oh God!
But I know King wants to talk about the Tar Heel, which I still don't even know what a Tar Heel is.
I mean,
I live in North Carolina, but
South Carolina. I mean, I don't think anybody can say it wasn't a mild shock that South Carolina made it to the Final Four in the men's tournament.
It was a seismic shock.
I mean, but we're talking about we're talking about a team that barely got into the tournament to start. I mean, Eric, you and probably only a couple of USC grads. I know USC grads that didn't even have them in the Final Four. So come on, man. You knew you were.
I told you last week. I never thought I would say that sentence that South Carolina men made it to the Final Four. Like it's
that was very surprising. But like I said, the Final Four kind of played out kind of like I thought it would. I thought South Carolina would have problems with Gonzaga's team effort and their height. Even with that being said, South Carolina still has some chances coming back from 15 down in the second half, which they've been doing all tournament basically the whole time. Is they've been a second half team where they just lock you down and make that run in the second half. It just ran out of gas. I think if they played them again, it'd probably be another tight game. They were just two evenly matched teams, but I think Gonzaga just got out ahead too much too early, and it was just too much to come back from this time.
Well, I'm glad you said that because if we had the championship again today, North Carolina would lose.
Well, unfortunately, you only have to win it one time. So, with that being said, it's a single elimination tournament, and we are the champions. Woo!
Right.
You want to say it again, Eric? Give me that Ric Flair.
Ric Flair is a South Carolina fan, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, that shows how smart he is. But the championship game, I mean, it was a muddled.
It was a close game.
Yeah, it was kind of messy though, and the referees just wouldn't swallow those whistles. Man, they just kept blowing it.
Yeah, they didn't let them play like the girls.
Yeah, and I was really worried that it was going to get into a free throw shooting contest, which North Carolina definitely would have lost because Gonzaga was a much better free throw shooting team. But it kind of evened out that last 7 to 8 minutes. The referees kind of swallowed the whistles in and kind of let them play. And then it kind of got physical. And I think Gonzaga just got tight at the end. They weren't in there used to being in that position, I don't think, in a big championship game. North Carolina's been there last year. All these guys on this team were in the same team last year that was there. They kind of know what to expect.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you.
Yeah, when it got down to it. Yeah,
let me tell you, one of my favorite North Carolina players was Meeks. I will have to say I'm a huge Meeks fan.
Yeah, I recently found out that he's a Kappa, so I'm gonna brush him off. Now that he's leaving North Carolina, I'm not gonna support him anymore.
Poor thing.
I mean, he did come up big. The huge block, of course, at the end that set the fast break for Justin Jackson to close the game out. So
yeah, Meeks and big. That is the first thing comes to mind when I think of Meeks is big. That's true. He
reminds me of a young Charles Barkley.
Yeah, except Charles get ready and jump.
Good point.
When he was young, not now. Can't do it anymore. Sorry.
What I noticed, it seemed like, especially early, Gonzaga seemed to be missing so many easy or close range shots.
That could have been nerves.
Yeah, well, he was missing point blank, 3-4 footers, like layups that he had been just completing the whole tournament. And I would just sit back and wonder, man, he's going to get hot and we're not going to be able to stop him. But it just carried through the whole game where he was just never able to convert in the lane. And then with their freshman, I think his name was not Cooper. I can't remember his name now. But he's their first All-American Gonzaga's ever recruited, the freshman forward that fouled out. Once he fouled out, they were in really big trouble after that. And that enabled North Carolina to start dominating the inside, which they did the last 5 minutes.
Just remember, you only won by 5 points, so calm down.
Hey, all we needed was that 1 point. I was happy. We won the previous game by 1 point, but guess what? We won.
All right, so we'll give you your.
You can do it again next year.
Give you your 10 seconds.
We'll be garbage next year because about 4 players are leaving. So, but hey, you got to cash in when the chips are on the table. That's when you got to cash it in.
I got you.
That's true. Plus, it's, you never know, like those 9th and 10th grade kids who are watching these games, how that impacts their decisions on where to go to college. Too.
Yeah. So Zion Williamson, if you hear me out there, North Carolina needs help next year. Go ahead, sign that letter of intent. Come on up to North Carolina. Let Roy teach you how to do that thing, man.
And can I just give a special shout out to the Michigan team? They did really good this season.
I mean,
really?
Yeah. I mean, once they about slid off the runway and it scared them to death, I really believe that turned your season around.
Well,
y'all better find that pilot and thank him.
I'm glad you mentioned him, because the other day was the 24th anniversary of Chris Webber's famous timeout.
After the love I gave South Carolina, you gonna bring this up? Okay.
All right. Well, and I guess a couple months ago we did a tribute to you. We put up the biggest moment in Michigan history when Javion Clowney knocked off a man's helmet in the Outback Bowl. So I can pull that back up if you like. If you want to see the biggest moment.
So basically, I just come on the show to get abused. That's really why I'm here, for the abuse.
All right. Okay. All right, so we like to bring you strange and unusual news. So Kane, brother, what you got for me this week?
Oh man, strange and unusual news. I actually saw a story on Jason Williams, the former point guard from Duke. When he, Mr. Motorcycle there.
Yeah.
When he was actually picking games, he actually picked Gonzaga after he picked North Carolina a couple of weeks earlier to win the same championship. He actually went back. It was pressure from some Duke fans and some Duke alumni where he was getting tweeted and pretty much just stalked online through social media that he better switch his pick. And he caved into the pressure, man. He caved into the pressure, changed his pick that he had previously had before North Carolina winning, changed it to the Gonzaga in the championship just because of Duke fans, social media, and pressure coming down on the man. I mean, come on, man. Have some integrity, Jason. Come on.
Yeah, and no one has some integrity. Number two, if you're a grown
man.
Yeah.
Don't you have better things to do than to look at who some random person picks and then harass them on social media? I mean, can you be like,
this is what it's come to, man.
Yeah.
Get a hold of yourselves, people.
Yeah, get a life. I'm telling you, really get a life.
Yeah, that is kind of unusual. So Jay, and see, this is where Kurt Angle would be very useful, because he always said, the 3 I's: integrity, intensity, and intelligence. See, and Jay Williams obviously was missing integrity and intelligence in this situation.
Well, he did go to Duke. No, I'm just kidding.
Good point. So Nicole, you got anything unusual, strange for us?
Yeah, I want to talk about what it means to walk in socks. The number 1 golfer in the world, Dustin Johnson, is in a rental home here in Georgia, and he fell down some stairs. And to hear the news media, they're talking about the difficulties of walking in a pair of socks on hardwood floors. And I can tell you, as someone who has done that over the years, it is not that difficult. And see how this has been a story here in Atlanta for the past few days with the Masters going on, the difficulty of a grown-ass man walking in a pair of socks on hardwood stairs. Now, if this was Tiger, they would say he was clumsy. They might say he was drunk. They might say he was running from one of his women.
That would be the story.
That would have been my guess.
Right. But because it's Dustin Johnson, we have to do the play-by-play. We got to analyze it. It was just a stupid freak accident. But around here, they're making such a big deal of it that it's just ridiculous. I mean, and the fact that people are actually taking it seriously. We're hearing conspiracy theories. The man who knows what was going on? But
yeah, I don't buy the story.
It's not hard to walk on hardwood stairs in a pair of socks.
I don't buy the story. Something else is up with that. I mean, that just don't sound right. I mean, I know it is a freak accident that things happen like that.
Yeah.
But to me, that story stinks. Something don't smell right about that to me.
Well, what was he holding? That's all I'm saying. What was in that cup?
What was in that blunt?
Gosh. Was Little Wayne in the area where there's styrofoam cups? That's or were there red Solo cups? Those are my two questions.
Did anybody refer to the phrase, please pour me some more purple drink?
Yeah, it's been a constant theme on our show since we started. Purple All right. So I read a story in India, and this sounds almost like a movie, that villagers found a young girl about 8 or 9 years old living with monkeys. And when the police went to actually get the child, the monkeys like attacked the police officers, and they finally got the child back. Now they're trying to track down her parents and match her to missing children's records. But right now the child's still not speaking. She's been in custody for like 2 months now. So I don't know. I don't know how things work in India, but of course in U.S. I guess you could leave your child at a fire station or a hospital or something. If you didn't want them. So if any parents are watching this, please don't leave your children with wildlife. Normally it's probably not going to end this well. Okay.
So Tarzan and Jane had a child.
Maybe, but in the movie Tarzan was white, and Jane was white. So I don't know, if this child's Indian, but of course, Brad Pitt was into Mexican, so I guess it doesn't have to be accurate to be in the movie, right?
That history doesn't have to be accurate. That's all that matters.
All right, so just want to remind everybody. Of course, football season's coming soon. We know you're going to be checking for the draft, checking out how to impact your fantasy team. So make sure you go to fanupnetwork.com or search FanUp in your app store and get the app. All right. And while I'm thinking about, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. Leave us comments. All that stuff helps us out, and we like to interact with you. So we do appreciate everybody watching. As we close in on 4,000 views for 2017. So a big shout out to you guys.
Awesome.
Keep tuning in.
Woo.
Keep telling your friends about us. Help us keep growing. So let's get to it. Of course, this usually creates arguments, and then Kane accused me of smoking crack when we talk about NBA MVP race.
I mean, if you heard yourself last week, you would think you were smoking it too.
All right, so I'm going to go down to Florida first, Kane. Who do you think? Who's at your top of your MVP power rankings right now?
Oh man, I think my man's reaffirmed his lead, man. I got old Westbrook still out there right now. I mean, the last couple of games, I mean, he was just last night, 1 rebound away from another triple-double from breaking the season record. He's going up against Phoenix tonight, so go ahead and chalk that one up. I heard a stat this morning on another show where this season against Phoenix, he's averaged against Phoenix this year in 3 games, 41 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists. Average against – so I think he's going to get it tonight. He said he needed 6 assists to average his triple-double, and that will secure the triple-double average for the whole year. So he's going to wrap that up tonight. So there's a couple of records that he could set, padding his MVP standing right now. So I think he's up over Santa Claus right now. I still got him in the lead over your boy James Harden.
That's not my boy. You know that.
I mean,
come on, man. All right. So Nicole,
he grows the hair on the face. You grew yours on the head.
Hey, I cut it out. Went sleep. All right, Nicole,
I appreciate that too.
Is your MVP right now?
Hands down is Russell Westbrook. The fact that we're even still having this conversation as far as if it could be multiple people. As much as I love Kobe Bryant, I disagree with him saying that it should be a co-MVP. We've never had that in the NBA, and there's a reason, because there should only be one. And I'm not like the biggest Russell Westbrook fan, but I have to give it up to him this season. He showed out, and he should get it. I feel like he's way ahead of James Harden. He shouldn't even be he's a distant second. Maybe 2 or 3 months ago we could have had that conversation. But hands down, if it's not Russell Westbrook, we definitely got a problem.
Well, I do agree with you. There should be one. But that one is Steph Curry, the best player on the best team. Come on, man. The team's
He's not even the best player on the team.
Hurt. Clay hadn't been himself, and they still had the best record in the NBA. All right? Let's get that right. Steph Curry, 3 times in a row. Not once, not twice. It should be 3 in a row, people. I mean, yeah, Westbrook is doing some great stuff, but
I get it. All you light-skinned brothers got to stick together, but let's be realistic.
Thank you. That's what it is.
We are taking over the world, no doubt. You know what I mean? Devin Booker got the 70 points.
Look, man. Look, I'm not arguing with you this week. Steph Curry is not the MVP. He's not even the best player on his team this year. He's probably 3rd on the team this year if you really break it down.
Okay. All right.
He's been a turnover machine this year. He's shooting his lowest percentage from 3 points in the last 4 years. His average is down. He's not as effective as he was 2 seasons ago. Durant
still has the best record in the NBA.
Yeah, and that's all because of Steph, huh?
Mostly. I mean, Durant's been hurt.
For 13 games. What about the other 65 games?
Curry was there too.
Doing what?
Doing his thing. Trying to help Durant.
Durant water? What was he doing?
Help Durant fit in. All right. But plus, okay. And also, history has shown having a ridiculous season doesn't get you MVP if your team isn't doing very well.
That was in the past.
Like those seasons where Steve Nash won, Kobe had some ridiculous stats, but the team was barely in the playoff picture, so he didn't win.
Yeah, but I think with what he's doing, especially trying to break that record, I think he has an edge up. We definitely saw that in the past, like the early 2000s, the 90s. But I think times are different. Now they're looking at individual players. They're not necessarily looking at the team. I mean, let's face it. I hate to be mean. Russell Westbrook's not going to get a ring anytime soon. But just what he's trying to accomplish, though, is so big. I think people are going to vote for him.
Right. Because your big men box out and let you come get the rebound. Okay. Got you. I got it. I got you. I mean, I love Westbrook and all.
Oh, yeah. If Steph finishes in the top 5, trust me, he did good.
All right.
Well, I would give it to Steph if he had actually performed all season. You can't give it to him this late in the season. And with Kevin getting hurt, just because he stepped up, I can't give him a gold star.
Yeah.
He should have stepped up anyway.
That's what he's supposed to do.
Well, all right. And this leads to we got an announcement for everybody. Everybody who's been watching the show those last few weeks, and I've been arguing about whether or not the Warriors will get to the finals. I say they will get there.
I do believe they'll get to the finals.
So we finally came up with a bet. And this will lead into football season. So once the Warriors get to the finals, Kane has to leave the Sunshine State and come to Columbia, to the University of South Carolina, or as we're now known as the University of Champions, and dress up in Gamecock gear and cheer for the Gamecocks during a football game. All right? So if somehow, if Steph Curry and Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green all decide to retire immediately and the Warriors don't get to the finals, they have to go down to that cesspool called University of Miami and attend a game and listen to some really, really bad rap music. I
mean, what do y'all tailgate at USC? Where y'all playing country? Hootie and the Blowfish? What?
Hey, Dennis Rucker is a better artist than Uncle Luke. All right.
I won't disagree with you there. Uncle Luke's brought me more entertainment in my life than Hootie's ever has. No, I'll take it, Luke.
Luke never actually went to Miami either. Let's get that straight.
He's from the neighborhood. That's close enough.
The only good thing to come from University of Miami is The Rock. Other than that,
You're such a hater, man. I'm telling you, you're such a hater. You're really going to enjoy it down here, though. I'm telling you, man. Trust me.
I mean, it is kind of weird to think that our next president might be a former University of Miami football player. That's a little bit scary, but,
Well, if you go down to Miami, the University of Miami, remember, just get arrested so you can feel like home.
And you know how extreme of something I have to do to, get in line to be arrested because there's so many other crazy things going on.
That's because there's actually fun things to do in Miami, unlike Columbia, which is Columbia is pretty much the armpit of the state. It's sweaty.
All right, well, Stephen Garcia just texted me. He said there's a lot of fun in Columbia. He's not sure what you're talking about.
The armpit, that's pretty rough.
It's the armpit of the state. I mean,
yeah, well, Miami's like the tip of the penis of America.
hey, guess what? That's where all the action takes place, baby. At the tip. That's where all the action goes down.
Oh my God.
All right, we've gone off the rails here. All right, so Nicole, why don't we tell everybody where they can find your art, your articles, your shows.
It's hard to follow that, but
it's supposed to be a PG show.
I'll edit that out.
Well, first of all, just thanks guys for having me back on. I've been off the air for a little bit, so it's good to I was feeling kind of rusty, so it's good to be back with family. And you can find me at Twitter on TWSS Sports, Facebook, That's What She Said Sports. I'm still working on my website. It's been down for a little bit, but
okay.
You can still go there and get some stuff. TWSSsports.com. So I appreciate it. But definitely, hopefully, we'll be back by the time we do the finals. And of course, football is right around the corner, so we got to talk a lot of football.
All right, so everybody look on the screen. The Twitter handle is going to be there. So make sure you follow Nicole. Interact with her. Ask her questions.
It's not about the armpit of South Carolina, please.
Okay, just want to remind you that Nicole agrees with me that the Warriors will get to the finals. Okay.
She can come on down here to Miami too. We can get her some University of Miami again.
I've partied with Luke before in Cancun. That's a whole different story.
See?
Okay.
How much fun did you have?
I'll have to share that one day.
See, how much fun did you have? Come on.
I had a lot of fun.
We go.
All right, now think about Cancun with Hootie and the Blowfish. How much fun would you have? Case closed.
That doesn't even make sense.
Case closed. Over. Done.
Okay. The blowfish. All right. Well, Darius Rucker and Tiger are good friends, so I have a feeling he's up to a lot more than we know about. Okay. It's just
Freaks usually hang together. Look at you two.
Oh boy.
Oh, there we go. That's in the past. We don't talk about the past here.
Yeah, we'll save that for our R-rated show. We haven't launched it yet. So our first episode is going to be you telling us about Luke in Cancun.
Yeah, I'll tell you that in another show.
That's must hear. That's must hear stuff there.
Let's just say that's when I got my first tattoo.
There was alcohol involved. Okay.
All right, everybody. So thanks for tuning in. Hey, make sure, like I said, you subscribe, hit that like button, and stick with us. And we'll be back at you next week. Hey, guys, have a great week.
Bye.
Oh, God.